everyone, I hope you're well. This is the next video in the short and sweet series, and in some ways it follows on from my last one, which was about my thoughts on conditioning the field. And another question I often get asked is, how do I direct the correct person or horse my work? How do I pick them out of all of the horses and all of the people in the world, sort of thing. Again, this is my interpretation, this is how I feel it works. It's all about intention. If you think of us, we're energetic beings, we're totally connected. There is actually no distance between us. So if I'm, say, working with a horse or a person in Australia, it's as though they're right there in front of me. There's no distance, that doesn't exist. So my intention is all that's needed. And so if it's, working with somebody, say Jane in Australia, and it's her horse Smokey, and she's got 4 other horses, doesn't matter. I think about Smokey and think, right, that's my intention. And there are many times that I've actually worked on animals, dogs and horses, and I haven't actually known their name. But the fact is, somebody has got in touch with me to say that their horse needs help. That's all I need. The intention is that person's horse that needs help. That's where my intention, that's where I'm working. So for me it's quite simple. That's why I don't need photos or descriptions or anything like that. Intention is enough. And in some ways I think that intention is the only thing, because even when people work using photos, that's their modus operandi, which is absolutely perfect. They're intending it. The photo doesn't make the connection. That helps them make the connection through intention. Is my sort of take on it. So for me, it's just intention. And then the other question I get, sort of alongside this, is does any animal or any person in the vicinity pick this stuff up as well? And the answer is most definitely yes. I work in stables sometimes, and if you're working in a loose box and there's a row of stables, I call it buy one get 4 free sometimes, because I work and I'm working in the field, and that obviously I can't constrict the field. Everything is connected, so the next door horse might pick it up, and the one after, and the one after. So that's sort of you can see when I'm in the physical working in presence with another animal. I'm using animals because they're very perceptive to the change in energy. But many times I've worked distance, and this has been the question, could my other horses have picked it up? Most definitely yes. And because people report back that sometimes the horse that I'm working with might just keep on eating. This happened the other day. But the pony next door has gone into the zone, as I call it. That's absolutely fine. They're both getting it. My aim, if you like, intention is that one horse, the one that kept on eating, and to me whether they keep eating or do anything doesn't make any difference. That's them getting the zap. How they react is totally their own, dependent on themselves. But it doesn't make any difference to the efficiency or the outcome of the session, and I know that categorically. But quite often the next door pony will pick something up as well, and I've had whole fields of them going down before now, when I've worked distance. And so I suppose the way that you'd look at it is, I was trying to think of an analogy to describe it, is if you had a powerful torch and you went into a forest or stood on the outside of a forest and you aimed the beam at one tree, that tree would become illuminated, but you couldn't stop the light diffusing out and picking up the other trees as well. Maybe not as strongly and not as clearly, but the trees would be bathed in a degree of light. And that's an analogy maybe to think of when I'm working in as I said in my previous video, I'm conditioning the field. The field is all connected, so it's no surprise that anything nearby that should choose to can pick the frequencies and the energy up and react accordingly. So yes, most definitely. If I'm working with one person or one animal and others are in the vicinities, they might well react as well. I've also had it the other way around, where somebody had a session with me and then a couple of weeks later I worked with their horse and she was stood nearby, And she messaged me at the end and said, is it possible that I could be picking that up because I felt very similar to when I had a session? And the answer is yes. So over here in the UK, we have something called BOGOF, which is buy one, get one free. And that's often the case, which is absolutely wonderful. Let's spread the joy. So that's a couple of little topics covered. If you've got any that you'd like me to answer, any questions or anything that you want more information on, please just get in touch, because I'd love to be able to answer them for you. Until the next time, take care and lots of love.